Hi, y'all. Let's see. It says it's live. Hopefully, it really is. Hi. Welcome to our mentoring training today. As you can tell, I'm still not 100% well, but I had a at least I didn't have to cancel again. I had to cancel last week. Also, I had absolutely no voice on Friday. And then yesterday, the kids, we were at the doctor, and one of them that didn't even have an appointment, she's like, I need to check her out and she needs a breathing treatment. And I was just like, oh man, I have a meeting. I got to go. And I just had to call it. So sometimes you got to do that. But today, I wanted to talk about, and I know I was talking, there was kind of a theme when I was talking with all of you, which is great because then I can pull something out that we can work on on each on the opposite weeks, which is precisely the point of talking to each of you because I want to make sure that I'm teaching what you need. And the theme was kind of traffic, right? Like we need more traffic, which is it doesn't matter how much traffic you have, you always need more traffic. But getting to the point that you at least feel like, okay, I can see an increase. I'm being productive. I'm getting what I need. I thought I heard a little pop that meant somebody was. Nope, just me talking to myself today. Okay. Um, that you're getting the traction that you want on your site. And I know, hopefully, you can hear me better. I was trying to use a microphone so that I didn't sound as crackly as I sound to myself. Um, I know that it's something that I have struggled with on my mommy blog and on the blogging bunch. This week or February was really funky. Um, for my traffic, like kind of flip flopped, and my mommy blog, a, a post. Well, Pinterest has done some funky things, and we're going to focus on Pinterest today. So back up a bit. That was one thing that I noticed that a lot of you are not putting your time into Pinterest. And so we've talked about SEOing your posts and, putting your keywords different places. And we've talked about all that stuff and researching what keywords and using the keyword tool and making your on page posts as good as you can be. But my mommy blog, personally, Google decided that it hated it last May. And I get very little traction from Google. So it doesn't matter. My Alexa rank has totally tanked. I don't know what has happened. I don't know why Google has decided that they hate me. But you really, like I could pay somebody hundreds of dollars to research it, but I don't have hundreds of dollars to pay for that. So I need to not I need to still do my on-site stuff, but I also need to be working hard on Pinterest because that's where you're going to get a lot of traction, right? We have blog Facebook pages, and I do still work on my blog Facebook page. And if you haven't read my Facebook strategy, how I do my Facebook strategy on thebloggingbench.com, my new Facebook strategy post, and I tell you exactly how to do a blog Facebook page. But you can get so much more traffic from Pinterest. You can get so much more traffic from Pinterest that it's just crazy. And I have a post that I wrote a year ago. Okay. A year ago. And it was, I did everything I needed to do. It would get, 100 hits a day or something like that. It wasn't dead. It was still kind of on Pinterest. It would come around. But then Pinterest made these changes. And now Pinterest is more of a search engine. So if you're using the keywords and doing your keywords from what Pinterest is using, so you have your boards keyworded, you have your pins keyworded, you have your descriptions keyworded, right? And you're pinning often, then you can get traction off Pinterest that just goes crazy. And I was looking last night, and in the last week on my mommy blog, okay, Monday to Monday, I had more traffic than I had in January. Okay. And it was all from Pinterest. I think I had 2% from Google, 2% from Google, 80% from Pinterest. And it was a post that there were multiple posts. I mean, I would still be having a good week if I didn't have this one post that went crazy, but this one post went crazy. And so I'm having a great week. But you if those had that what people are looking for, that post had what people are looking for, it was keyworded for, and it was kind of by accident again. But with this new search engine thing, people aren't seeing what they want to see. They're not seeing their friends pins pop up in their feed, so they have to kind of go looking for them. So you kind of it's about 30 to 50% what your friends are pinning, and then there's picked for you and what Pinterest thinks you want to see. And so if you're looking for something specific, like I do a lot of research on Pinterest also for all my posts. And so you have to type in to get what you're looking for, or you find somebody. I know I have a friend that pins amazing organization and home things. So if I'm looking for a pin like that, then I'm going to go to her board. So you know who you're following and what they pin, but you have to use it as a search engine now because that's just the way Pinterest wants you to use it. And so if you're keywording, like we keyworded for Google, we can keyword now for Pinterest. And instead of just our friends pinning it, then people can find it when they search blah, blah, blah. Then you can, you're going to have these pins that come back around. So, and a lot of it is older pins. So you need to be pinning your stuff now, right? So that in 3 months, those pins will pick up. And I know a lot of the older pins are what I'm seeing that I have traffic on, because Pinterest, I read something the other day that it takes Pinterest about 2 weeks to index your pin, to go through and figure out what you're talking about, what the pictures are, put it in the correct category, all those things. So if you are thinking ahead, right, St. Patrick's Day is in 2 weeks, and you write a post now about St. Patrick's Day where you think you're kind of being ahead of time, you're really not, because Pinterest isn't going to index that till right at St. Patrick's Day, and then it's going to be too late. So thinking about a month ahead of time or 6 weeks ahead of time for some of those things, think about that. All right. Pinning what you, pinning or writing your posts, thinking about your posts and writing those ahead of time, 4 to 6 weeks, and pinning them. And it just reminded me, there were a couple of things I wanted to talk about today. What time is it? 10:08. If I don't get to it, we'll talk about it next time. So Pinterest, we want to write 4 to 6 weeks ahead. We want to keyword our boards. First off, we want to go through and keyword our boards. We want to be following people. I told you I just took that Pinterest class. And so I will tell you some of the big things. A lot of the stuff was stuff I was already teaching, stuff I was already doing. But there were also some kind of, you need just that little golden nugget that says, okay, you need to be doing this 4 to 6 weeks ahead instead of 2 to 4 weeks ahead. Okay. Great. Now I can make a plan. I have my editorial calendar and I can look back, here's St. Patrick's Day, here's Easter, here's Mother's Day. Like, think about what posts are coming or what holidays are coming up, and that you can be working ahead of time on those. And still having the evergreen content, because you want the holiday content, right? That's going to go big, but then it's going to die off. But you need to have those evergreen content, so things that are going to be good all the time. Okay, evergreen, it's always good. So you want posts that are going to be solid and steady at all times. Also, parenting tips, recipes that aren't specific. Who do we have? We also have different nail things. Oh, look, Heidi, I got my nails done. Aren't they cute? Different nail things, that are good all the time. And then you have the holiday ones that you're doing also. So think about those when you're planning out each week, or planning each month's editorial calendar, okay, this post, I'm going to do one post that's an evergreen post, one post that's a holiday post, so that you have content that is always good. And you have things that are going to keep coming back, and then you have things that come and go. So, like a lot of my St. Patrick's Day stuff, I looked at last year, March, and I had a lot of St. Patrick's Day traffic. So, but some of those posts were a year old, and some of them were just a few weeks old. So now those posts are coming back around where I didn't really do anything. I have started to promote them now, right? But once you have that content, you can come back around to it and continue to build up on it. Sorry, my hair is in my face today. Okay, so we want to be working on posting evergreen content and and seasonal content each week. Okay, so if you're working on your editorial calendar, you're doing those two things. You want to be planning 4 to 6 weeks ahead with your content. So thinking what's coming up and looking ahead at that. So, right, like May, you're going to be thinking about 4th of July. And I know it seems really early, but you want to get an index so that it has time to build on Pinterest. I know I've seen bloggers, a big blogger that has Easter baskets, a post about Easter baskets last week even, so she's thinking that 6 weeks ahead, she's getting things ahead. Okay, and then I want to talk about keywording your boards and how to find those keywords, which I have talked a little bit about before, but I don't know if we've specifically done it. I want to show you my boards. I kind of cleaned up my boards. I made sure that, because I was one, and if you do it on your phone, it's really hard to do. You can create a board, right? But I wasn't creating a description, and I wasn't putting them in categories, which was a big mistake. And I also had a ton of boards. So I kind of condensed some of them. You don't really want to have, 75 to 100 boards, and 50 if you're just starting out, right? Try to get there. Try to think about, like, if you're, I know Heidi has like different holiday kind of nails, and she's got, different kind of things. If you're a food blogger, then you want to have the recipe, dessert recipes, breakfast recipes, gluten-free recipes, all those kind of different kinds of recipes that you're following. Even if you're a nails blogger, you want to have a food board, because food is big on Pinterest. So there are certain things, right? You have to think about your audience, and your audience for your blog, and your audience for Facebook, and your audience for Pinterest. Those are all different. So you want to build your audience in those different areas, but you also want to have that connection, which is your blog. And you want to think about what your audience wants to see on those sites. So let's see. I think I'm ready to share. I'm going to see if anybody is around. Nobody's made any comments here. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to show you too. Where is that page? Okay. No, I'm still just talking to myself. I thought Lexi or somebody was going to watch. Okay, let me pull up my blog here too. No. And I want to show you. Make sure that you are doing one thing first on site, and then we will go to Pinterest. All right. And they added a new thing here that I discovered last week. Entire screen, share, present to everyone. Yes. Medium. So whether you're adding an image, if you're using WordPress, whether you're adding an image through your media library or in your post, it doesn't matter, either one, but I want you to make sure that your title here, can you see this? Your title is the title of your post. See how I have this image? I have the title of my post on the image. This is a horizontal picture. I want to make sure, right? We talked about gosh, when did we start doing this? We talked about a couple of months in January that you want to have a vertical and a horizontal image, because a horizontal image is going to show up better on Twitter and Facebook, but we also want to have vertical images because those show up better Google Plus and Pinterest. And so I don't know, I focus on Facebook, on Pinterest. Those are the two. I do a little bit on Twitter, and I haven't done anything on Google Plus in a while. But I still might decide to. So I want to make sure that my pictures are optimized. So I have my title on my picture. It's not overwhelming. I have my title over here in the title section of my when I upload my picture, and then the alt text, I also have it there. And I also want you to describe, so whatever you're going to put, see, I put easy dog training tips here. I want you to put in the title and the alt text, put your pin description there also. So my keywords here were train your puppy, right? And then also dog training tips. So I did 5 ways to train your puppy, easy dog training tips. And I could do more, right? If I did research on Pinterest and found out that there were a few more words that sounded normal, I don't want them to sound funky, but that sound normal. Somebody messaging me? Oh, yes. That sound normal in your description, but you could add those descriptions into your alt text here in your title so that when people pin that image, it comes up and exactly what you want comes up. Now, I know I talked with Heidi is on Blogger, and she said, I don't know how to do the alt image on Blogger. So here is a Blogger blog, and I added a picture to my post. And if you click on it here, you can see properties, and you click on properties, and right here, I could add my title and my alt text, exactly the same as in WordPress that I was just showing you. You would want to add your title of your post. Okay. And then you should also have it on, when you save it on your computer, also, please save it as the title of your post. So on your computer, it's saved as the title of your post. When you upload it, it's saved as the title of your post. Make sure that your title text is the title of your post, and then with a description for whatever you want for your pin, and put that in the alt text also, those 2 places. So we're working on site, because this is what Pinterest pulls. This alt text is what Google bots read. This is the description that you need to be pulled. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. Okay, let me see. TBB. 23 hours. 23 hours. Tuesday works better for me. Okay. Carrie, nobody. Okay, just making sure I'm not missing anybody here. And nope, nobody. I'm still just talking to myself. Anyway, on Blogger, you would want to do properties. And I'm sorry, I don't know about Weebly and TypePad, and we have a whole bunch of different platforms here. Blogger and WordPress are what I at least am kind of familiar with. Blogger and mostly familiar with WordPress. So just look around, try to figure out, but you need to find out. And if you can't figure out, Google it. How do I add alt text on TypePad images? So just Google it and try to find out. But on Blogger, it's the properties here. I add the properties, okay, and then I'm done. And I just go ahead and go. Again, making sure, like, this picture probably isn't going to come up as big as I want it to be, but I want it to be big so that people can scroll through and work on that. All right, we were going to go to, or talked about alt text. You can see I made one that was, I took the exact same picture here that I had for this one, is the exact same picture. I just zoomed in on it when I was cropping it to make it a vertical image. And then I put 5 ways to quickly train your puppy. I just put a little dot there with the title, and did the exact same thing here with my title and my description. So it doesn't have to be rocket science. And this was a public domain image. This was a free image that I found, and in my head, I'm working on a post about where to find free images. So hopefully I'll get that up soon so that you guys can, if you don't have the exact picture that you're looking for, you can find some images to work on. Okay. Pinterest, that's where we wanted to go next. And so if you see here, look, picked for you, picked for you, picked for you. Okay, these were at least, then some of these others are people may be posting them, picked for you, picked for you. So that's Pinterest saying, I think you'll like this. I think you'll like this. Although I may or may not like it. And it's what I've been pinning lately. All right. So followers, you can see I have a good amount of followers, and that got built in the fall, and I used Viral Tag to build it, although that stopped working for me when Pinterest made all these changes. So I don't recommend Viral Tag anymore, although I still love it and I miss it. And hopefully Pinterest starts liking Viral Tag again so that I can go back to it. But I don't use it right now. But the followers aren't something, I'm still trying to build my followers, but it's not something that I'm totally focused on right now, because although my followers for February, and I hope that you have just gone through and you've written down your page views and all of your stats for February, right? You want to be keeping track of all of this stuff so that you can watch your growth. But my followers for February were the same for the entire month of February that in September I would get in one day, which is really sad. But I got more, again, it didn't correspond because it wasn't getting the same amount of traffic, right? In February, in 1 week, I got this more traffic from Pinterest than I got in the whole month of January. So the followers and the traffic is what I'm really going for. So I'm not so concerned about the followers because I'm getting the traffic. So don't be down on yourself. You still, if you only have 70 followers, you can still get traffic from Pinterest. So this is still worth your time and still something that I really want you to be focusing on. Let me show you the post here, the blogging bunch. My post about Facebook, I recommend that you do 5 posts a day on Facebook, and I do use CoSchedule to do that. I have dropped it down to 5. I'm sorry, 3. I have dropped it down. Here's what I have been doing: a viral post, just ask a question, and this question usually gets the most interaction. One of my posts, and then a viral post or a video, because Facebook likes video. So this is what I did for a couple of months, and that really did help build the engagement on my site. I wasn't seeing the followers as much, kind of like Pinterest, right? I wasn't seeing as many followers, but definitely the engagement came up. But I wasn't seeing a ton of traffic from Facebook. Now, if you're seeing a lot of traffic from Facebook, then I would definitely go with this 5 times a day. I did drop it back to 3 times a day because I was seeing more traffic from Pinterest. So I'm going to go where my stats tell me to go. And my stats right now are telling me to go to Pinterest. So I dropped it back to 3 times a day, and I do viral, one of my top 30 posts. So the top 30 posts on my site, or some like St. Patrick's Day stuff right now is what I'm doing, or some Easter stuff right now is what I'm doing, getting those links out there. And then I do another viral post. But you can do, is there a video? There's a video, but you can see, look, this is what, when I was just kind of randomly posting, and then at Thanksgiving here, I started posting consistently at the exact same time, and you can see that my engagement totally shot up. So being consistent about Facebook, you can schedule, here's my new page. I'm building a new blog. Hopefully you guys have seen that, but I can schedule a post, And you could go through and schedule. I pick the exact same times, and I've gone through my insights. Am I just throwing a bazillion things at you today? Yes, I am. Go to Reach. This is my brand new page. Look at the Reach, is amazing. Visits. Ugh, come on, just show me what I'm looking for. I think it's too new of a page, so it's not going to show me what I'm looking for. There it is. Okay, on posts here, it'll tell me the times that my followers are on, and it looks pretty even to me, really. So I would pick times throughout the day where I have most people are on. And if you just hover over these at the top, it'll tell you. Okay, so that would have been a good time there, right? What's that one? 7 p.m. When my followers are generally on Facebook. So that's when I want to be posting on Facebook. And so those 3 times, it depends on my site. On this site, because it's brand new and I'm trying to build this Facebook page, I do 5 or 6 times a day. I do a lot. Whereas my Play to Learn, I do like 10:30, because that's my mommy blog. I do maybe 10:30, 2:30, and like 7:30, because that's when people are more likely to be on time. And then the blogging bunch, the bloggers are mommy bloggers mostly, so they are they are online later. So I do that one later. So if you're focused on Facebook, then I want you to do that 3 to 5 times a day on your blogging page. And it's easy just to use your time on Pinterest here, right? I scheduled mine out for the whole week. I'm scheduled out through Friday, through Saturday morning. So I went to my blogging board and I pulled things, and let's say I did a viral post at 7:30 p.m. about blogging. I just picked 5 different ones and I plugged them in there every day. So just use your time wisely. But you need to be focused on Pinterest here. So back to Pinterest. Now I have my boards at the top. I have my blog board. That's my very first board. Should be your very first board also. I have my St. Patrick's Day board is next, because that is the holiday that's next. So you should have a holiday board next. I don't care what I don't care what you blog about, what your niche is. You just have a holiday board for that, and because that's going to get you the followers. You're trying to get the people interacting with you and following you, so that you can get your post seen and you can be an influencer on Pinterest. This organization, ironically, is one which I'm really not organized. You should see the mess I'm sitting in right now. But organization is one of my top boards. It has my most followers. So I have that one next. Blogging, I want to be an authority in the blogging niche. So blogging is my next one. Crockpot, that's one of my best boards. This planners and calendars, gluten-free, coffee, these are some of the ideas that I want to be known for. So I have these up here, and I kind of went through and I found what some of my top boards were. So I just looked at the numbers. Look, this one has 3,483 followers. That's a lot. The blogging board, come on. The blogging board has 2,200 followers. So you can see that organization board. I can see, yep, that came above. So I just wrote it out on a piece of paper, wrote the numbers next to it. And I went through what I thought would be some of the top boards. And I didn't go through, at the time that I was doing this, I had like 149 boards. You can see I got it down to 102. I probably still need to be putting them together, or ones that I'm not posting to anymore, because Pinterest wants to see that you're posting to these boards. You're not just leaving them, and that you're interacting with your board. So if I have some boards that had less than maybe 20 pins, I would try and see if there was another board that I could add it to. And I'll show you how I did that. Maybe I'll get down to 101 today. But I just went through some of my boards and I wrote down the numbers of how many people were following them. And then I was able to see what kind of my base followers, because some people will be like, we just follow all boards. And some people will be just follow this one board, 2154 there. I do have some that are a lot, if I go down to the bottom. So these are ones that I still like to pin to kids' birthday party ideas. Like I still like to pin to these, but they don't have as many followers, 2095. So I'm getting lower here. Vacation ideas. And I can start to see, 2095. I can start to see, if I see this same number kind of popping up repeatedly, then I'm going to say, oh, you know what? That must be my base number of followers, the people that follow all of my boards. So I can see which boards maybe aren't having such an impact and which ones I need to, I could combine without losing a bunch of followers. Now, doing this, like I cut out 40 something boards and I lost about 30 followers, which isn't bad. But you don't want to cut out some of your bigger boards and lose, hundreds of followers. So let's see. Holidays, I did combine I had some holidays that weren't didn't have so many pins on them. So I kind of tried to combine those. Some of these blogging ones I could probably combine. This one only has 15. Blog content, this one only has 23. Oh, you know what? I don't own this board. The Blogging Bunch, I'm under my Sarah Kostusiak one. The Blogging Bunch owns that board. So, technology. How many followers? So, look at that. I thought 2095 was my number, but this one only has 2090. So that might be one that I could combine this board. That's got some social media stuff on it. So if you want to combine a board and you don't want to lose these pins, if you don't care about the pins or you have them someplace else, then you don't need to do this, but you can click move pins and then you just click on the ones. I just click on all of them. Right? Click on them all. And then you can do I think you can do 50 at a time. And then I move, what board am I on? Technology. Some of these are Pinterest. So I could move these probably to my blogging board. I move it to my blogging board and click move, and all those pins go over there. And then once I get it down to 0, then I would just delete the board. And you just go in here, edit board, and you can delete the board. Now, while I'm here, again, look at this. I didn't write a description here, so I need to really do that. I need to do that. If I'm going to keep this board, then I need to do that. Now, some of these things, like all these Pinterest ones, I could totally put those on some of my blogging ones. So before I delete this board, I would want to make sure that I went through and checked everything. I could also look, if I wanted to keep this board, I have it titled technology. Now let's go over here first. If you click on this thing in the search bar here, this will tell you the top categories for Pinterest. Okay. Pinterest has very broad categories and they don't have too many categories. So you want to make sure that you are thinking about that when you're creating boards that you've got, and when you're writing descriptions for your pins, that you're using some of these words. So I did a technology board, and technology was actually one of their big ones. So I click on technology. And then I can see some of these: computers, medical technology, startups, geek culture. These are some of their main topics in here. So I see that this really doesn't, my technology board doesn't really go in here. Computers or electronics. Let's go computers. And then now they have these boards that you can follow in interest. So you can try, that might help you, but you can also go down a little bit further if you're looking for something a little more specific. So, smartphone, electronic gadgets. That's kind of where I was going with my technology. So that would tell me a little bit more. So look, I'm getting down, niched down even further, but electronics gadgets. So that would be something that I could put in my Pinterest description of my technology board. I also might want to just go up here and type in technology. And if you see here, like it's giving me kind of like on Google, it gives you the words technology, technology humor, technology classroom, technology in the classroom, technology. And then I put a space and it gave me those same things. So these are going to be the top things that are searched on Pinterest. So if I'm working, if I want, if that's what fits my board, then great, I would want to use those. But if it doesn't fit my board, then I could go and just do technology A. Oh, look, this might actually fit technology activities for kids, technology activities. If that's what my board was about, right? Like I have a parenting site, technology activities for kids would actually work. So technology could be the name of my board, technology activities for kids. Maybe it's not. Then I erase the A and I go to B and see what it gives me. Mm. C, just go through the alphabet and see what it gives you. D, technology for kids. So I might, tips was really where I was going. Technology tips. Okay. So I would go back to this board and I want to edit this board. I have it in technology. And I could even change the board, technology tips, if I wanted to change the board. But if I change the name of the board, then that's going to change my URL. And if I've linked to that from my blog and been like, hey, follow my technology board on Pinterest, then that's going to break that URL if you change the name of the board. So if you're okay with that and you haven't linked to it anywhere, or you've only linked to it a few times and you're fine with going back and changing it, or I was fine with changing it, although I had linked to it multiple times on my site. I was okay with changing it because I thought it made more sense on Pinterest. And just as I go through and edit the boards, then I will go through and fix that. So technology, and I could write here technology. If I could type technology tips and fun electronics gadgets. All right. So see how I used some of my keywords here and that I found in my keyword research in my description. So now it's going to get pulled into things that I pin are going to get pulled into that. And if I have technology thing, like technology activities for kids, I could put that in here too. You can also here change the cover, which I've gone through and done that also. Like this isn't the greatest cover for this board. I would like something here. Now look, I could also pull it up a little bit. There, technology, right? iPhone thing. So I like that picture a lot better. I can move it around a little bit. I can move it up and down. Save changes. Save changes on the board. Okay, so now when I go back to all of my boards, I can see here, look, technology, there's actually a picture of technology and not just these words and things that make it a little bit more difficult. Sorry, my husband is apparently emailing me. Or Skyping me. So that's a good idea. Like go through and make sure that your images, I went through, especially these ones at the top, and made sure that the images were, I love this. It's a post. Get it? I'm writing a post. I thought that was funny. But anyway, I made sure that some of these images were a little more appealing. And you might want to go through and change them like monthly or every 3 months. Go through and change the cover picture and see if that helps you get any more clicks or things on Pinterest. I thought that was cute too. So I just went through and changed some of the pictures so that they were a little more appealing. Some of them, maybe I need to go through and change couponing 101, Lego books. I tried to get books in the picture. So just think about that. I know I posted in the group one time a couple of months ago because some people have really worked hard to make cover images for each of their boards and make it look all pretty. And I thought it was a great idea, and I was going to spend time, and it's hours and hours of making different board covers for each of these boards for 100 boards. And I posted in our blogging bunch group, and people were like, no, I hate that. I will not follow you. I will unfollow you if all your boards match, which I was really surprised by because I know not a ton of people, but I know quite a few people that do spend the time to make their boards all kind of match and look pretty. But the people in our group didn't like it. So Pinterest, you're going to look for your keywords, look for the topics, look here for topics, look here, have them give you topics. Look up here, parenting for toddlers, parenting advice, parenting done right, positive parenting. So, boys, now if I have a post and it would go, it's good for girls and boys, ideas, parenting ideas for toddlers, like I'm getting those words. So when you're thinking about writing the description for your picture, for your pin, and you can edit other people's pins also, right? I could go here. I see she's got how to stop whining and crying for kids. Wow, I wish I'd read this a couple of decades ago. That's really not a good description, right? So I would want to edit this pin, and I can totally do that because it's on my board. I can edit this pin. How do I edit this pin? Is this on my board, or where did I pin this? No, it's not on my board. It is on my boards. I could pin it, or I could edit it on my boards. Hello, Sarah. Okay, parenting. I'm on my boards. I can edit the pin. I can't edit it on Pinterest. Why aren't you going? Come on, Pinterest. So I know I have that pin somewhere. I could edit the pin when I pin it to my site. 5 simple tips to get your toddler talking. Let's see what she did here. 5 tricks. Okay, here's another point. 5 tricks to get your baby to start talking. Be prepared once they start. There's no going back. Baby girl, baby boy. So she is, she kind of understands that like girl and boy, right? Those are some big terms. Those are some generic terms that are going to get her, get it seen. It says that I pin this, and I really need to do a better job because I just go through on my phone and pin things, and I don't edit these pins. And I need to be doing this because somebody has edited this, and then it looks like I'm saying it. Hashtags don't work on Pinterest, so don't do hashtags. So I want to go through and edit this pin. 5 tricks to get your toddler, right? Because she said toddler instead of baby. 5 tricks to get your toddler talking. That's what the title of the pin was, the title of the post is. So I want to do that. So, and then maybe say, what are some great parenting tips for, oh God, I'm not doing well today. 5 tricks to get your toddler talking. Great parenting tips for teaching your baby to talk. Okay, so I've got the word baby in there. I've got parenting tips in there. I've got toddler. I've got some of those keywords that are in parenting in my pin. And then I save the changes here because I want my pins no matter if they're my pins or somebody else's pins. I want me to be seen as an authority in the parenting niche here. And you can see we looked at my organization one had about 1,300 more followers than my parenting one. So I need to be doing a better job of that. Parenting. I have parenting advice, parenting tips, articles on parenting. I probably should have done a better job, but at least I got some keywords in there now. But I should have made it a little more human friendly instead of just bot friendly there. But it takes a lot of time. And I'm telling you, I don't want you to be overwhelmed, but I do want you to start really focusing on Pinterest because you will get the traffic from there. We've already been focused. I've taught you how to write a post and where to put your keywords and how to look up keywords and to work on your Google stuff. So we need to start working on our Pinterest traffic also because sometimes Google just decides it doesn't like you. All right, so we've got keywords on Pinterest. We know how to put those keywords into our posts when we're including the images. We want to think about those when you're doing those posts too. When you're writing your posts, you can do, instead of doing your keyword research on the Google keyword tool, come over to Pinterest and do your keyword research here, right? So I want to do organization, home organization, DIY ideas, home organization ideas. So then my post could be home organization ideas, 5 ways to organize your kitchen cabinets, right? So you're using all of those terms that you're working on, and you've got the terms that you found that were big on Pinterest. You've got your terms, your keywords that you did in Keyword Planner. You've got all of that going. Now, how much do you want to be pinning? In the pinning course that I just took, and I haven't quite figured out how to do this, but she recommended that you pin 10 of your own pins per day and 13 of somebody else's pins. Okay, so 10 of my own pins each day. What I did was go through and think about, like, okay, I need to find all of my Pinterest stuff or all of my St. Patrick's Day stuff and work on pinning that this week. And then, like, what are the top pins from my site? What's getting me the traffic? Go into your Google Analytics. What's getting you the traffic from Pinterest right now? And go through and pin one a day. So I could go through, I have this one set. I have Ahology is what I'm using right now because I stopped using, what was it? I stopped using Viral Tag, but I need a Pinterest scheduler so that I'm not on Pinterest all day long and I'm not on Facebook all day long. And for me, it's worthwhile. Viral Tag was kind of expensive, but it was worthwhile to build up my Pinterest boards and build up my followers to pay that money. There's another one called Tailwind, and I haven't quite gotten into that one yet, so I can't tell you if I recommend it or not, but it's called tailwindapp.com. And I think they do have, there's a free version. But you don't get too many pins a day, but you can use it for just ones on your site, right? Do your pins 10 a day and then go through and manually do the other ones each day so that you're on Pinterest. Pinterest wants to see that you're pinning to your different boards. So think about your boards. Think about your pins. If each time you publish a post, you pin it to your blog board, which is what I try to do. I publish a post, I pin it to my blog board. Okay, I set it to go on Facebook. I pin it to Pinterest. I put it on BlogHer so that each time, this was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Each time you publish a post, you've got a set thing. Just because I hit publish doesn't mean I'm done. I need to promote it. And these are the things that I automatically promote to. I automatically schedule it for Pinterest. I automatically schedule it for Twitter. I automatically pin it to my blog board so that then I can go through next week and pin it to another board. And I can go through and pin it 3 days later and pin it to another board. So you want to be pinning, you want to have enough multiple boards that you can pin this exact same pin to multiple boards. So this gluten-free St. Patrick's Day treats, right? I pinned it to my blog board. And then a couple of days later, I have it scheduled to go to my St. Patrick's Day board. And then a couple of days later, I have it scheduled to go to my gluten-free board. And then now I've pinned it early enough, right, that next week I can go through, and as long as I'm pinning other things to my St. Patrick's Day board and it's separated, I could pin it again. You can pin it to the same board repeatedly, okay? So let's see, I'm pinning enough things. Here's one, this is one of my pins from my site, although it didn't get repinned, dang it. But this one's doing pretty well and getting me some traffic, although it didn't get repinned. This one didn't get repinned. But you can go, I can scroll through here and look, I made a different way of setting it up. I made some printables, these bingo card printables, right? And then I did a roundup of all the printables and I put that bingo card one in there again. And let's see, oh, here's one of the other ones. And look, here's the bingo cards. I made a separate free printable bingo cards, but then up here, that's the same post. I just made a different image. Although you can see how I did this one last year before I was really kind of Pinterest, you got to do vertical ones, but you can see how this one isn't going to get a lot of attention on Pinterest. Obviously, there's no repins because it's a horizontal one and it's not so big. But if you're making, you're going through, look, she's got a horizontal one. She's got horizontal ones, but then she went through and made a collage on Pinterest and put them all together. This probably isn't on her post, but she just uploaded the pin and linked it to her post. So go through and you can see that I'm pinning things to this post, to this board often enough that it doesn't matter that I'm pinning my, now this looks kind of bad. I should probably take one of those off. That I should not have them together. But it doesn't matter that I have them repeatedly, right? So it was up there. That same one was up here. It wasn't in the same screen. There it is. It's in the same spot on the screen, ironically. But it's not in the same scroll. It's separated far enough so that if you're pinning the same pin, my St. Patrick's Day ones, look, that one has 170 pins. So I want to pin that one again. I want to put that in my schedule and pin it up again. So it's okay to repin things to your same boards a couple of times. Next year, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to come back and I'm going to pin that sucker again because I'll be pinning more St. Patrick's Day stuff. I've got everybody else's St. Patrick's Day stuff in here too, but I've got some of my stuff. Look, I haven't pinned that one recently. It's not up here at the top. So I might add a few more St. Patrick's Day pins, and then guess what? I'm going to pin that sucker again because I want it to be where everybody scrolls so that they can see it, so that it's Pinterest, right? It is coming up in the feed. It is searched a lot. I want to be able to see that a lot. Okay, so work on thinking about your images. Also, you can just upload a pin. Look, she put two pictures together with the title on Pinterest. Or on PicMonkey, she just created a collage with her pictures, and you just add a pin from your device, choose an image, upload a picture. I haven't edited that picture, so it's probably pretty big. Pick the board you're going to put it on. That one's a salad. Pick the board you put it on. You've done your keyword research, or wait, oops, I forgot to do my keyword research. So I'm going to open another Pinterest tab and I'm going to do my keyword research as I'm writing my thing. Okay, I'm going to type in salad. Oh, salad recipes. I can just type in salad also and see, look at the top. Salad recipes is going to be one that's searched for a lot. Broccoli, potato salad, healthy salad recipe, healthy salad ideas. That would be a good one. Healthy salad ideas, if that's what my post is. Where's my Pinterest thing? healthy salad ideas, because maybe this one, the idea for this post never came together. I took the pictures, but there were 5 different salads that I made. Isn't this ridiculous? This would be a great pin. Healthy salad ideas for the busy mom. Okay. And then list some of the ingredients: chopped cucumber salad, taco salad, and list out what the 5 different salads were. That would be a good description, so that I'm adding all the information in here, and that's a good description. And then I just pin it. So crap, now I got to go to the salad one and delete that, don't I? But you know what, you don't have, it doesn't have to be on your post for you to be pinning it. Okay. Did I delete it? Oh man. Oh, did I? Maybe I didn't upload it. Maybe I deleted it. Maybe I didn't upload it. Okay. So, just because you're pinning something to Pinterest doesn't mean it's on your blog. So you could create those vertical images if you think they're too big, which I'm starting to think that some of them are getting a little too big for my blog. I like the horizontal ones on my blog, but I know that Pinterest, look, she didn't even put her title in it. She just plugged 2 pictures together and made a vertical image. So it doesn't have to be something difficult. Okay. It doesn't have to be on your blog, but upload a pin, make things for Pinterest, get your pins out there. You're doing pinning, even just to get started, following different people. Make sure that you're following people in our group. Maybe I'll put that as our a thing on our group, that we're following everybody on Pinterest. You can also, like here, I've got a board that I'm building for Heidi, and I don't have 20 pins yet, so I made it a secret board because I don't want it put out there, because I didn't have the 20 pins yet. But I went through Heidi's site and I got a few posts from her site, and now I'm going to add some more posts that I found. So tell me what pins you want me to pin. Let me know, and we'll get them out there for you guys. Nails. Nails is the #1 search term on Pinterest. So I'm helping Heidi, but I'm also doing something for myself by building a board that I know people are going to want to follow, and that's going to get me some more followers. And maybe they'll decide not to just follow my nail board, but they'll follow all my boards. So you can do this, create your boards, in your secret boards, and once you get them to 20 pins, then make them public boards. You can't take them back to being secret, but take them public once you have your 20 pins on them. So there's tons of ideas about Pinterest, and I really hope that I've given you guys something to work on for this week, and that you really you get your pins, go through your site a couple of times a day. If you're still working on building up your blog board, go through and pin things to your blog board. Okay, you don't want to do 100 of your posts all at once, because that's just not cool to people that do follow you. And as we know, Pinterest doesn't show everything that you pin, but it has been showing quite more, and it does show about 30 to 50% of what you pin. Gosh, that looks good. So you want to go through and pin to your blog board, and then in a couple of days, right, I want to go through my blog board, and you can see I did a better job earlier. Like, I need to fix that picture. I could go through and pin this one again, since it hasn't been up again. I could even pin it to my post, or to this blog board, just to get it up there again. Play-Doh Merceria, homemade fruit chews. I need to research this, right? And do Lego fruit chews, great snacks, party snacks for boys, or whatever. But go through and repin some of these even to your own board. Or when this was a big pin 2 years ago when I first pinned it. So go through and pin it again when May comes. I'm going to start promoting this one. Primal cookies. I might go through some of my, I have a bunch of activities posts. So go through and repin them. May the 4th. Once it gets to be April, I'm going to start working on this one going again, right? some of these I'm going to start building up again and repinning again. So just if you have your blog board, you can go through and you know what you need to work on, and you can pin them again to this blog board, right? Bring it up, pin it to your blog board, pin it to at least 3 or 4 different boards throughout a week or 2, 10 days, give yourself 10 days, pin it to 3, 4 different boards, and make sure, and then come back 2 weeks later and pin it to 3 or 4 different boards again, so that you're getting that pin out there. Especially, like, this is one I really want to I want people to be looking at right now. This is a big one for me. Although it obviously didn't come from this board, but I get a lot of traffic, and I get a lot of people. I get a lot of Amazon affiliate sales of people buying this mold. So this is one that I want to keep up and keep people pinning. So you want to make sure that you're doing a good job of keeping your pins in front of people. Okay. How do I get out of here? Stop sharing. My voice is just about done, and we're at 1 hour. So I really, really, really want to encourage you to watch that one twice and go through, write down, work on Pinterest, work on following people. Make sure that you're going through some of your old posts. Like right now, St. Patrick's Day is big and Easter's coming. So if you have any old posts that are big for that time of year, go through those. Make sure your images are good. Make sure that you've got the alt text on those images, and then start pinning those. So it doesn't have to be a new post, right? You don't have to write, if you don't have time to write a post this week, then make sure that you're editing old posts. If you don't have those old posts yet, then write a new post. But do what you can. Make sure that you're getting them on Pinterest, that you're pinning them to a couple of different boards, and then that you're pinning to those boards, right? Pin to 3 or 4 different boards this week, and then continue to pin to those boards other things from other people from Pinterest. And then in 2 weeks, right, though your pins are going to be down far enough that you can repin those to the same boards again, or to different boards. So make sure that you're keeping your pins in the rotation if you want people to be seeing them. All right. Thank you. I look forward to speaking with each of you next week and finding out how you're doing with Pinterest, and if that is helping you build up your traffic, because I really, really, really think that if you put your time into Pinterest, that it will pay you back in spades. I promise it will. It is right now for me. So have a great day, and I hope all are well and warm at your house. Bye.